FNCS groups is today, but a whole bunch of pros have just been disqualified due to stream sniping. However, they haven't been banned, and Epic says it isn't a mistake. I've never ever seen a bug like this in Fortnite history. We also have Cooper being removed from the solo cash cup midway through as if he got banned, but apparently he hasn't, and he was still able to keep playing. I also want to talk about what my predictions are for the groups today. We have Clix over in NA. Do I think he's going to qualify? Do I think he's going to dominate? I also want to talk about the big names like Tayson in the EU group and talk about my predictions for Group 1. There's a lot to talk about. Let's jump into it. Let's kick off with whatever Cooper's situation was, and then let's talk about the players getting disqualified from semis for stream sniping but not being banned. So Cooper's one was weird. Cooper was playing the solo cash cup opens today. He randomly got logged out of his account. Once he logged back in, he went to get on. He thought he'd been like banned or disqualified or something because he was removed from the solo cash cup leaderboard and his points were taken away, but he was still on the previous leaderboards. He was able to queue up for the tournament as well, so he wasn't banned. It's just like his points reset and he was back to 0 points. He then got a hold of Epic, who said that they will combine his points because he wasn't supposed to be removed from the leaderboards, so he should just keep playing, and then they'll combine the points he already had with his new points. By the way, they don't need to do that anymore because Cooper actually managed to re-qualify again, dropping almost 300 points after being DQ'd. He dropped 2 separate 35 kill wins in solo opens today, which is just absurd, but I have no clue how this happens. And I wonder if it was anyone but like Cooper or someone who had a bunch of, following and could actually reach out to Epic, whether they would have got an answer or whether they would have had just keep playing the tournament out. And what if he didn't qualify a second time and they didn't give him the points? Like, I just don't understand how this happens, but I guess no harm, no foul. Cooper's qualified for the finals, which is good because he won the last finals. So if they randomly screwed him out of qualifying, that would be really disastrous for him. But I still don't understand what is going on. Cooper's situation was getting wrapped up in this other situation. A lot of people, myself included, thinking it might be linked because it's just two very, very weird bugs to happen, or what looks like bugs. But the other one that's affecting more players and apparently is intentional is what is going on with players being disqualified, not banned, being disqualified for stream sniping. Now, this is affecting a lot of NA teams. There's about 4 or 5 NA teams I've found so far, and it's also affecting a few EU teams as well. We have Tiddy and Kiro's team, so Kiro, Pablo, and Bevies. They are not able to play in FNCS groups at this point because they got disqualified for stream sniping. Now, I specifically say disqualified, not banned, because they're still eligible to play current tournaments. 51 Cole is one of the players who's affected. He just won the NA Opens the same day as getting this message saying that he stream sniped, apparently. Now, I fully believe when all of them are saying they did not stream snipe, all of them are adamant they have not stream sniped, and I believe them because no one has ever been punished for stream sniping. We've seen people show concrete proof, literally video evidence of another player pulling up their stream, watching it and targeting them, and they haven't been banned. We've seen players inside people's Twitch viewer list, which shows they were watching them at the time of them making a weird play. Nothing has ever happened. So Fortnite has never actually actioned stream sniping, and now they're doing it on a bunch of players and teams who haven't been reported or anything. If there was like a tweet which got like 5,000 likes and, maybe a really big name pro accused a player of stream sniping and got a bunch of attention, it might make sense. But all of these players are being completely blindsided. This has never really happened before. And a lot of them run in similar friend groups, but they are on different teams and they just don't know what's going on here. This also kind of is reminiscent of the situation that happened in one of the grand finals with Casper. Casper's team randomly having their day 1 points removed because of stream sniping. I don't know if this is a weird situation where Epic just gives this when they don't have any other evidence, but they've been told from Epic Games that it is intentional and it will stand. They're trying to get an actual response from Epic around what happened. Like, do you have evidence? What tournament did I stream snipe in? What game? Who reported me? Just something to go off. And they all keep getting automated responses saying that no, they will not give them any more information, but they aren't banned. That's what the players are getting confused, and I'm getting confused. If you broke terms of service, if we truly think these people stream sniped, then why are they not banned? Why are they still able to play tournaments? And Fortnite has now tweeted out the official groups list, and all of these players who got this message have been taken off them. A few of them are in Group 2 or Group 3, which is in like another week or so they might be able to get unbanned in time and they might be able to play. But a lot of these teams are actually in Group 1, which is starting today. So a few of them might just miss out. It's a super, super strange situation, and I wish I had more information from you. I've talked to a bunch of the players. They've sent me all of the DMs they've had with Epic, all the information, and I just can't make sense of this. I guess we have to assume that they were actually stream sniping, which I don't, but then why aren't they banned? Why are they just removed from certain tournaments and can keep competing? I just don't get what's happening. Before we talk about groups, let's take a look at opens. On NA, we had none other than 51 Cole win it, like I talked about, who's just been DQ'd, which is really, really unfortunate to see. We had Curly coming in second. He has been playing phenomenally well in solos right now. We had Mason in third, Toronto in fourth, repping the Arca group. Toronto, shout out you. We had Creon in fifth, Boone FNBR in sixth, Sphinx in seventh, Ken in eighth, Hardy in ninth, and then Muzz in 10th. Now, like I said, Cooper probably should be in here. He basically got 2 lots of 300 points, which is insane. He would have set a record like 500 something points, but they haven't yet combined his points, and honestly, I kind of don't think they will. We were missing Clix. Clix had a business thing he had to attend to, so Clix wasn't playing in the opens. As far as other big names that qualified coming into groups, I think a lot of people who are in group 1 especially are just focused on FNCS groups right now. Moving on over to EU, we do have the Romanian Demon Shark, who I'm going to be talking about later. He is playing in FNCS group 1, so he's going to be playing solo Cash Cup finals straight into FNCS groups. We had 2 Romanian teams in the top 2. We had Turtle as well coming in second on 419 points. We had Pixie in third, who pulled off an insane win in his very last game on stream. It was super fun to watch. We had Pablo, who now can't play in FNCS groups as of this point because he's teaming with Bevies and Kiro, who have been DQ'd for stream sniping. We also have Khan in 5th, Demus in 6th. We have Tayson in 7th, who will be playing a Group 1 today as well. Then we have Sky, No Kif, and then Blaha. So really, really stacked top 10. We did have Vico in 11th. If you guys didn't see, I gave Vico the all-time Aussie curse. I told him we're going to make a VOD review video for my React channel if he pops off. He agreed after coming second 2 weeks in a row on EU finals and then didn't make finals for the next 2 weeks. But he's broken the curse. Hopefully he pops off in finals, and hopefully we can finally get out that video because you guys have been loving the VOD review videos. We also have one of Cooper now on the React channel, so once today's video is ended, go watch that if you guys want to learn how to play solos like Cooper. But let's talk about groups. Now, we do have the official groups list going here, so we get to see who's playing in the groups. We get to have a bit of a teaser for what's going on here. Like I said, anyone disqualified, if you guys didn't see, Fortnite changed the rules. If you've been disqualified, instead of it having a knock-on effect where it ruins every other group after that, what happens is you get removed, and the player that's in 100th or whatever it is placement that overtakes, they come in and slot into your place. So we get to actually break down the groups despite all this craziness going on right now. And we have Group 1 kicking off today. So this is Clix's group on NA. We have Yomzo, Batman Booger, and Clix dropping Lost Lake. Like I talked about when the groups first got solidified, I think most people agree this is probably the easiest group on NA. It should hopefully be a comfortable qualification for Yomzo, Batman Booger, and Clix. You have to remember as well, they are currently the Victory Reboot Round champions right now. They've been dominating the Eval Cup finals. They are the first team on NA to win 2 games out of 4, and they've done it twice in a row in 2 separate finals. So when it comes down to getting a win, Clix is the team to do it, and that's all they really need. If you guys don't know how the format works, it's really simple. Top 5 teams will go through at the end of the 5 games, but if you win one of the 5 games, you also go straight through and you stop playing. So I'll be very surprised if Clix's team even leaves it down to top 5, but if they don't get a win, you have to imagine they'll get top 5. But there are some other scary teams to look out for in this lobby. We also have Chance, Mason, and Donnie at Twinkle Terrace. Chance, Mason, and Donnie forming right on the day of FNCS. I've been gassing all of these players up a whole bunch. I think they're going to be really, really solid, and they're landing right next to Clix's team. We have G-Money, O-Sid, and Seek going Magic Mosses just to their north. We have Shadow, Tyler, and Curve dropping Flooded Frogs, taking the Flooded Frogs drop because obviously Peterbot is not in this heat, so it's up for grabs. So most of the really solid teams are right around Clix. We have Bryce, Reed, and Vert, who are contested at Brutal Box Cars. Interesting to see whether Reese team's going to be able to come out of that on top. All they need is one good game and win it, but while being contested, they could pull off a top 5. We have in the most recent update had the train re-added to the game, along with the medal going back to the bird, which is really, really good for Mr. Savage, Mongol, and Panzer, who are now dropping there. They are not playing a Group 1, so I'll talk about them a little bit later. We have a big spawn fight over at Demon's Dojo. We have Beast team up against Hound and Catman, a triple con over there. We also have Visuals team getting contested by none other than Colazo. If you guys haven't been following Comp Fortnite for a long time, you maybe have forgotten about Colazo. TSM Colazo, one of the original controller goats, come back to the game. He is just qualified for heats, and he's dropping on Visuals, Unminished, and Braids, which is a really, really good trio. I'm interested to see how that plays out for them. I was talking to Colazo. I thought this was maybe not the best idea, but his teammate Vertex was telling me of the times they ran into Visuals in the opens, they have actually taken them out on spawn more than they've lost. So we'll see how that one plays out. Could be a bit of an upset. We have Cease, Jack, and Blake, who are dropping the mountain next to Canyon. Not a lot of loot there there, but it should be a safe, good drop. So I'm guessing they're going to try and go for that top 5 consistency placement rather than trying to get a win. We do have Pilot's team. We have Owl, Pilot, and Pandy going up against Monka, Kaz, and Xoff. Now, I will mention as well, I talked about how good it is now that Mongrel's team has left Shattered Span and gone the Bird. It's even better when you take into account the fact that Shattered Span just got nerfed. So the Bird got buffed and Shattered got nerfed because now that they're repairing the bridge, it's lost a lot of the loot that was in the water underneath it. We had the van with the guaranteed blue chest and triple chest spawn. That has now been removed along with a whole bunch of other loot. So it's interesting to see how that's going to play out for other teams like Rise, Muzz, and Yapko who are still going the bridge. It has been made a little bit weaker now. There are a lot of other teams here in the leaderboard. Obviously, we have Asian Jeff, Aloe, and Carillion playing in this one as well. It looks like they're uncontested at Hopeful Heights. Could be a good chance to walk away with here. Death Sales and Encrypted, they're contested at Kappa Kappa though. That's another team that could definitely pull off a top 10. We have 20, Larson, and Walkers are contested at Night Shift Forest. But you have to remember, as this tournament progresses, anyone who's contested will probably switch drops. Let's say Clix's team wins game 1, they stop playing. That's going to open Lost Lake up. One of these other teams is going to want to go and take that drop spot. So I wouldn't look too much at teams that are contested and think that, oh man, that means their FNCS is over right now. Like, let's say that Clix wins game 1. I could easily see Bryce, Vert, and Reed going and claiming Lost Lake and having a really good performance in the next 4 games from that drop. It's what makes these kind of formats where once you qual, you stop playing really exciting, because teams that are contested opens up that possibility of switching drops last minute. Looking at the EU Group 1, we have a decently stacked Group 1. I still think Group 2 or 3 is probably the more stacked group for EU, but I could be wrong. It's really hard with EU because there are just so many pros. We have some big names though. We have Tayson, Shrulix, and Chicho going Foxy Floodgate. They're also probably going to get the mountain to the east of Foxy Floodgate as well. I think it's not marked here in the drop map, but I'm pretty sure they will. We have Predage, Radion, and Rax going Warriors Watch, where they've been going all season. The Italians are looking very, very solid. Zhu, Shark, and Z Andy, a team that's been getting a lot of gas from a lot of people. Super underrated team coming into this, but Shark, young Romanian demon, absolutely dominating alongside 2 comp veterans. I would love to see Z Andy win in a reboot round format. If you guys remember Z Andy's original reboot round solo clutch in trios of all game modes, really cool to see if maybe we get like a repeat of that. We have Cringe, Mappy, and Cade going Masked Meadows. We have Eyedrop, Sky, and Scroll. They're going the split over near the fields. Really good drop for them. They did win EU overall as well, so they were the first place team coming into this for seeding. We have Vanya, Pixie, and Marius, who are finally uncontested at Kappa Kappa Factory. Definitely a really good team to run through this one. We have Lucy, Monet, and Loki. They're going Shattered Span, which obviously we've seen them go up against Savage at this drop spot before. They are now uncontested. There is no mixing in this group as well. We have a triple con Night Shift Forest with Gordetti's team, Panda, and Lens, but like I've just said, Lance, Titty, and Jewel, I don't think are actually playing in groups because they've been removed. By the time KXR wakes up, the guy who makes these drop maps, shout out KXR, he might have to update this. We'll see how we go. So hopefully that's a double con now, but I feel really, really bad for Lens's team. We have Finay and Axforce and Roban going Magic Mosses. We have Hris, Teeny, and Skivvy going Flooded Frogs. Hris, Teeny, and Skivvy were actually looking like they were going to split up coming into this, so I don't have a lot of hope for a team of really good players. All 3 of them phenomenal, but the vibes just don't really seem there right now to see if they can pull this off and maybe get through on this one. We have Pixovsky, the ex-console go, dropping Hopeful Heights up against Cranky's team, but for the most part, I think a few of the teams I mentioned there will probably take the wins or the top 5s. It's EU though. You never know who's going to come out and kind of sneak one of those wins in there, but there's definitely a pretty tough lobby for at least the top 5 wins and a few of the consistency placements. But I think some of these more underrated teams could sneak through, like Hydro's team. We even have Serene's team. There's a few of these teams that could take the last spots.